Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a new video. I honestly don't know where I got the motivation to film a video today. Today has been one of those days that I felt meh. But I feel motivated to film this video, so I'm gonna film this video with a cup of water. Grab yourself a coffee, a tea, or if it's like a bit later, maybe a gin or whatever you like to drink. Or just grab yourself some water. And I'm just gonna chat to you about some uni tips, basically give you some uni tips. But before we get into that, please give my I would love it if you check my social medias out. I am working a lot harder on my Instagram recently. I have my days when I'm very much active on it and I'm not, but that's just due to uni and motivation. But please go give it a follow. Also follow my Twitter. I write a random crap and I also literally praise Niall and retweet a load of Niall stuff on there. So if you like Niall Horan, you know where to check it out. Sorry. And please follow my TikTok. I'm sometimes on there, sometimes not. It's very sporadic with TikTok, but I still would love if you followed. I really want to get back into doing like day in my life on there, like quick ones, but I just have nothing interesting going on right now. And before we get into this video, if you could give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, comment down below any uni tips you might have for uni students that I might have missed in this video, and please subscribe. I would love it if we can get to 250 by the end of the year at least. And without further ado, let's get on with this video. So for this video I am going to give you as many uni tips as I can give you and as I can think of. Some of them are going to be to do with online uni and some of them are just going to be to do with normal uni. And it's not just going to be doing your work or like the course, but also other things that involve uni students. So my first big one is, and it's only because I feel like it's very easy to forget this, when you are looking for a house to live in for your second year, your third year, or your masters like me, make sure you're not just going for the house. The landlord is the person you're going to have to communicate with throughout the whole year you're living in that house. And if that landlord isn't going to provide you with stuff with what you need, so whether like it be fixing the internet, these are not personal things that have happened personally to me, no, or getting a new Hoover, or fixing the microwave, or sorting out stuff so we don't get any more mice. If he doesn't do that, then that's a sign of a bad landlord. I know it's really hard to judge a character when you first meet them in a viewing, and if you find the house amazing and it's within your budget, it is kind of like really hard to go, I don't want that house, because to be honest, when me and my friends found this house online, I didn't get to view it, but they did, and this house was good pricing. Like the pricing for rent is insanely good compared to the fact that my old house was like £60 more and we didn't get anything different. I got actually less stuff in that house. Like I got a dishwasher in this house. Didn't get a dishwasher in my old house. You know, certain things, but my old landlady was amazing. If you had a problem, she'd be there. My bed broke, she fixed it in a heartbeat. Like, she got it sorted. Where this house, we've had issues with our landlord. And I'm really concerned. I feel like my camera's falling, that's why. I'm just like checking. Sorry. So make sure when you are finding houses to live in, it is really hard to say this because most of the time you don't view the house with a landlord, you view the house with an agency. That's what happened with my old house anyway. But I mean, make sure you can, if not, make sure you communicate with your landlord. And this is the big thing. If you don't get to meet your landlord at the viewing, so you can't judge him there or her there, judge them there, that's the best way to describe it. Then when you move into the house, you obviously introduce yourself to the landlord because they are going to be the people who are in charge. You're going to be paying rent for monthly. You're going to have to communicate with, but I'm saying communicate with them. And don't let what they say slide. If they don't go, oh, I'll do that another time, make sure they do it, because my landlord kept saying for months he'll sort the internet out. It took us several times texting him to get him to do it. Landlords will try and con students out of a lot of things because they think students are dumb enough to fall for it, because let's be real, you haven't had, unless you're a mature student and you've moved away from home before and you've had to find a place to live, most students don't really know how to deal with landlords and how to do the whole moving out process and the whole living in a house process. I didn't until now. I am in this when I moved to the second house, I didn't communicate with my landlord much at all until halfway through second year. Didn't have to do the whole moving process, just kind of sign forms and stuff. That was it. Make sure you communicate with the landlord, because I'm telling you, if you don't, and also don't, and if you let them just con you out of stuff, that's going to be bad, because in the end, you're going to be affected. Now, for example, I feel like I've bragged on about this tip for ages, but my biggest thing is here, our internet was really bad. Like, I say really bad to the point where, what if one of us was using the internet or on Zoom, it affected everyone in the house and they couldn't do anything. Especially, and it's like, it was annoying to the point where, like, I'm in a lecture and it's glitching out of my lecture because of the internet. I couldn't do anything. I could barely understand what my lecturer was saying. And we are having to do uni at home right now. Like, uni online with an internet that's shit isn't good. I understand some things cannot be fixed by the landlord, but he said he figured something out that he could fix it with, and he had been saying it for months. I understand at one point he had COVID, so yeah, we didn't want him to come over straight away. But obviously, at a time when he's got cured from COVID, sounds weird to say, he should come over and do it. It took a while, he did it, but he was moaning about doing it. And that was my problem. But I wasn't going to tell him, that's fine, go home. I left to go for a walk, and I was like, yeah, you have to do it. So that's my big tip, is either get to know your landlord before you move in, or make sure you're communicating with your landlord, because I tell you something, if you sit back and let things fall apart in your house without telling them, you're likely to just take it from your deposit because you haven't said nothing. Not saying they won't take it from your deposit, like, even if you said something, but at least they know, and they can't say that they didn't know. Because obviously they've got to make it good work for students for the next year, so why are they going to let it get bad? My next point is, I should have written these down because I had loads of points and now they're all flying out of my head. My next point is to do a to-do list every day. It is, I know, the bane of my existence is writing to-do lists every single. I write them the night before I go to bed, either in my notebook or in my planner, or in my notebook or planner. I have two planners and I don't even use them at the moment. I've been using my notebook to write my to-do lists because of space in my room. But I'm telling you something, to-do list really does help you stay productive and motivated, because I have had days when I've got up in the morning, not done a to-do list the night before, but I've had loads of stuff I needed to do. I just then sit at my laptop, stare at my laptop and go, right, I need to do this, but I don't really know where to start. Simplest thing to do, write a to-do list of everything you need to do the night before. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to get that done, because as a uni student there's a lot of stuff you need to get done, and there's only a certain amount of time in the day, and you've got to cook for yourself, you've got to clean, you've got to do your washing. It's not just uni work. So if you don't get everything on your to-do list done, you look at that to-do list what you did that day, and then you plan that evening, you sit there with a piece of paper or your planner and write your to-do list up for the next day, and then put it down. Every day I do this, well, I don't do it every day, that's a lie, but when I do it, I always feel more productive. The day I'm filming this, I have had a day when I basically spent most of it in bed because I had no energy. But I wrote a to-do list yesterday and I've got 5 things on it done out of 7, and I've spent most of the day in bed. Honestly, you will feel so much more achieved if you've written a to-do list. A simple thing, I started writing the rest of this week's to-do list as well. I know I said do it nightly, but I wrote it weekly because most of it's going to stay the same anyway, because I've got one piece of coursework during a week. The day you're seeing this I have a deadline, so basically every day the same thing's going to be on there with a few added bits in, and some things are weekly the same time every single day, no difference. So for example, I have a meeting on Wednesdays at 5 PM that happens every week, so I can put it in. On a Thursday I have show choir at 6:30, happens every week, so I can just put it in. It's and then I just leave space so I can add things in the next, like the night before those days if I have things to do, and it's really helpful. I always feel better when I know I have followed a to-do list and completed those things on the to-do list. Don't try not to put yourself to have so much to do in one day that you look at that to-do list and go, I want to get that all done today, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. Then you stress yourself out. It's very hard to do it. Sometimes. My next tip is write a list of your deadlines on a piece of paper, either print it out or just write it by hand, and put it somewhere on a wall. I haven't actually done it this year, and I'm going to do it. I might do it after I film this video, but I did it last year and it was really helpful until I moved home for lockdown and didn't take it with me. It's really helpful to keep in my mind when everything was due in, so then I can keep it in mind when I have to get things done. I do it in an order of which is due in first and which is due in last, put it all in, and then I can just tick it off. So I definitely recommend you do it, because then you can look at what deadlines you've got, what deadlines, and then you can see it slowly, the deadlines cut down, and then you can be like, I've only got 6 deadlines left out of 9. That seems like still a lot, but it's not as long as you had at the beginning, if that makes sense. So that's a good thing. Another thing I do recommend, and I don't do it enough either, is drink more water. I did this a lot in college, and I tell you, my motivation for college work was always at the highest it's ever been. I am not a person who likes to do work, I like to do other things, but my motivation at college was always high, because to be fair, going into college is a lot easier, because you're not in your home. So, but drinking water, it sounds so stupid that I say drinking water helps, but it really does. And you can feel it in your whole, like, mind that water actually does help, but you don't think it does, but you realise it. Talking hurts right now. Another thing is, and this is a big thing, especially for online uni and uni in lockdown, I guess, or if you don't want to go out to, like, some people I know, like my old housemates, and myself included, even when uni is open, if say you have a day off in a week, or a couple of days off in a week, and you don't want to go into uni, then but you've got work to do, you're going to do it in your room at home. Biggest thing is, and especially I've noticed it during online uni, because I'm a person who, I started doing it in my joggers or in my PJ, not my pyjamas. I never did it in my pyjamas because I felt uncomfortable. I did it in the most comfiest clothes ever. Made me the most unproductive I've ever been. I'm telling you, I don't know, I see these comments on Twitter saying people who can sit around the house and just wear jeans freak me out. I can't sit around the house and wear joggers. I'm wearing shorts right now and I just about feel comfortable in them, because they're like, they're loungewear shorts, but they're very much more comfy than joggers. And I'm not saying I'm fat, because I know that I'm not skinny, but I don't believe that I'm fat. Like, I know my body, people will probably call me fat, but I don't believe that. That's a different story. But when I wear joggers, I genuinely feel so uncomfortable, so fat, and so unproductive. I feel like my day, I'm not saying everyone has to do this, I know other people feel like it's just easier, but I do recommend getting dressed as if you're going out to uni, because if you're dressed, then you're going to feel like you're doing something. You're going to feel like you have to do something, because if I'm wearing comfy clothes like joggers, I feel like I could just go back into bed. And that's exactly what I did today, and as soon as I put my shorts on, I felt 10 times more productive. And it's so crazy how what you wear affects your mood. So I do recommend getting up, putting an outfit on. And outfits, the other thing is, everyone seems to moan that they have all these outfits, nowhere to wear them. Who says you can't wear them around your house? Sitting in your room to do your uni work, like you would if you go to a lecture. If going to lectures, if you would go out to uni and put your makeup on, do that in the morning. It might seem like a waste of makeup, but it will also make you feel like you're not sitting at home, even though you are sitting at home. And I think that is the most important thing to do, is to dress as if you are going out, so that you feel like you've got to get things done and you're going to get things done. If you feel like the way you're motivated is by being completely dressed up like a bad bitch, you do that. If you feel more comfortable and more productive by just wearing joggers and a hoodie, then fine. I'm not saying don't do that, but for me, I have noticed in the last few months, specifically today, wearing joggers has been the worst part of it, because I literally probably would have stayed up and got stuff done. But now I spent most of my day in bed instead, so I literally put my shorts on after having a nap, got up, went onto my computer, sorted out the layout for my coursework, and I didn't do that when I could have done that ages ago, because it's the most basic thing ever. Like doing a cover page and a contents page, how hard is that? My next thing is, it sounds so simple, But make sure you read the assignment briefs for your coursework, you fully read it and you understand it. If you have any problems, contact that course. Sorry, I get distracted by things when I hear it move. Contact your supervisor, not supervisor, but the module leader, like the lecturer who runs that unit. So for me, like, if I'm struggling, I always contact the module leaders. Some of them will be helpful, some of them won't be, but then if they're not and you don't do well in that coursework, you could literally fight it. Most people probably wouldn't, I wouldn't, but you can fight and say, I asked for help, I was stuck, they refused to help me, here I am doing something, thinking it's right, and I get it wrong. It's the simplest thing, it's just like, make sure you understand what you're doing, because in all, most uni lecturers are going to be they're there to help you. They will be there to help you, and most of them are lovely. I don't know about other unis, but my unis, for me, all my lecturers have been, if I've needed help, I've never been afraid to email them because I know they come back and they give me help. I've been very fortunate this year. In a master's, they always say you're going to be left alone. I've emailed for help several times, and most every time I've emailed for help, I've been given the help I needed. And I'm very fortunate for that. So I definitely recommend that. Another recommendation is give yourself something to look forward to. Whether that is at the end of the day when you've done all your stuff to do this, you're going to give yourself the evening to have a gin and lemonade and maybe watch a film. Or you're going to give yourself a takeaway. Or you're going to give yourself a games night. Or when you finish an assignment. Now this can work. My tip here, half of the tip is actually going to work better when COVID is not around, because this is what me and my friends always do. We see a deadline, especially if it's a big deadline. So say we have 3 deadlines, they're all around the same time. We always plan that like the day after, once it's due, we'll go on a night out. This is a good motivation, because then you're like, I don't want to do this coursework. But as soon as I've done this coursework, I'm going to be in a club, living my life, having fun, enjoying it, and not worrying about these deadlines. Now, I know that's harder in lockdown at the moment, so you could say, give yourself something to look forward to, like maybe plan a Zoom call or a FaceTime, or even, there's this website, this is not an ad, no way it is an ad, but I have been using this website called backyard.co with my friend. And basically it's just a website where you use your cameras, it has games, but you can also do other games, like stuff you would do like Most Likely and stuff like that on there. It's basically like a normal video call thing. If you remember House Party, it's kind of like that but better. Me and my friend do that this weekly. We haven't been drinking for the last few weeks, but we used to. But a way to give yourself something to look forward to is you could say to your friends, like, whether it's your uni friends or just your normal friends, saying, at this date, on this date, once my deadline is done, or like, once our deadline is done, let's do a video call, we play great games, have some drinks, and just enjoy the night, and know we have nothing to worry about the next day. Or if not, you can say, I'm going to give myself a movie weekend or a movie night, I'm going to give myself give myself the next day to have a movie day or something. Just something so simple to look forward to that makes you want to do the work, because motivation is key. And I tell you something, people think uni students should be motivated because they've paid money. It's very easy to be demotivated, even when uni is open. I'm very easily demotivated, and I was more demotivated before COVID because I just didn't want to be stuck in my room. I don't like the library, it freaks me out, but when I go to the library I get stuff done, but most of the time I don't, I get distracted. I don't like leaving the house when I don't have to. I don't know why, unless I'm going on a night out with friends, or I'm going to do something with friends. But if it's going to the library to do uni work, no. I prefer just to sit in my room, even though I know I don't get stuff done. So, motivation is key, and if you give yourself something to be motivated for, you're more likely to do it. Once me and my friend said, this was before COVID happened, we were going to do it when our dissertation handed in. Sorry, I got the hiccups now. Once our dissertation got handed in, we were going to go, let's go to Brighton. We did it in the summer the year before. We were like, let's go to Brighton again, it'd be great. And then obviously, when we handed the dissertation in, we were in lockdown. So, it was great. Another tip, I just had it. Oh my god, this is it. I'm not good at this, and my tip here is literally going to contradict everything I do, and everything I'm still going to continue doing, because I really suck at this. But I have, and I will explain this in a second, but budgeting, if you can, try and budget your money. I honestly would recommend it. Or just tell yourself how much you can spend on a certain thing and then tell yourself not to spend it. Or put it in a different account. I am telling myself from now on when I get paid, because I get paid fortnightly even though I'm not working. I get I get fortnight pay and I get furlough pay, which I am very grateful for, considering I know some people haven't got furlough pay, and my furlough pay isn't exactly a small amount of money. It's quite a bit compared to what some people's is. I get paid, and bear in mind my job is fortnightly pay, so if you add up what I get paid each fortnight to a month, I get quite a lot, and I am very grateful for that. Also, I've just realised, sorry if you hear a noise, it's the boiler. So my house was in the shower, so that's why. But I get paid in fortnight, but I'm still really bad with my money, and I have been for 4 years. I have been at uni for 4 years, and every year I'm like, I'm broke. Every term I'm broke, and I'm like, how can I be so broke when I get the highest loan? In final year it was even worse, because in final year I had a job whilst I was at uni, so I was working every weekend, and I still had the loan, and I was still always broke. Someone tell me how to do that. So I'm going to just give, and my advice is to put more money in your savings. If you have a savings account, I'll put it in there, or get a different account that you can use for spending, an account that this money goes in, and try and save, or try and budget a bit more, because I honestly need to do it more. I have a shopping addiction, I know I do. I don't have a shopping addiction, I can go without shopping, but I like it. And I think the thing for me, especially in lockdowns, I like the excitement when you get a knock at the door and it's a delivery. Makes me so happy, and I sound so sad, but it's just something to look forward to. But I'm stopping myself. But yeah, tip is to budget big time. Another tip for uni is I feel like I don't know what I'm about to say, but I feel like I do. I plan out. This is a big thing, because I feel like this is something I don't do. Plan out look at the assignment brief like I said earlier, but plan out the sections, what you need to do. Sometimes your assignment brief will give you the sections you need. I have one unit, and I swear to God, I don't know how nice this lecturer is, because she has given us the layout basically in our assignment brief for the thing, so you know roughly what you need to do. You just need to add it in, if that makes sense. But usually they have something in the assignment brief of how to lay it out. So plan it out in advance and do a section at a time. I tell you something, you will panic, and I mean you will, because I did. I'm not saying you will, but I do. I panic as soon as I see an assignment brief. I see how many words it is, I see when it's due, and it's the week before it's due, like it is now. And I look at the assignment brief, I'm like, I have so much to do. I have so much to do, and so little time. When really, even though it's still a lot to do, if you cut it down into sections, it's a lot easier to think, okay, if I do this section today, this section tomorrow, some of the sections will be longer than other sections. So they go, and if I have some sections longer tomorrow, do half some of this section tomorrow and another half the next day, plan it out, you will be fine. It is hard to, what are the words, to get your head around it when you just see a whole thing, like 2,500 words, this whole thing, and you've got to do it. It's very stressful. Another tip is, get help from friends in your course, fine. Do work when you've got deadlines together, always communicate, but don't compare your work to others. As soon as you do that, and if they say they did something different to you, you're going to start questioning, have I done something wrong? Did I do something right? Oh no, my whole thing's ruined. Say you've submitted, your friends haven't, and they're saying what they're doing, but you did nothing of that. The first thing that's going to go through your head is, I failed. When really you don't know. You don't know if you failed until the marks come in, however many days it is after you've submitted. So instead of worrying too much about what they've done compared to you, help each other out, that's all good, but don't compare what you've done to them. Because sometimes it might mean you've done better than them, you don't know. Just help each other out is the main thing. Another tip is, I feel like I'm rambling on for ages. How long was that? Okay, I'm going to make this my last tip because I feel like I'm dragging it on. My last tip is, when you live in uni halls or your room in your uni house, try and decorate it to fit your personality. Decorate it to make you feel like at home and cozy. And don't be afraid to spend some money to make it look the way you want it, because I'll tell you something, it does look cute when you've got it the way you want it. And I love when I make my room look cute the way I want it. Even if I, like, halfway through the year I'll change it up, and I like that because it just makes it feel more motivated when things are different. It makes me feel happy, and it just makes me feel like refreshed and rejuvenated. Like, I like how I had a room for 2 years in my old house, and by the second year I was just demotivated in that room because it was all the same for basically 2 years. Then I moved to this house, and this room was just so much, like, it's smaller, but it made me feel so much more happier and nicer when I got to redecorate it in a different way in some ways, and lay it out a different way, and do something different. So make sure your study space is comfy. Also, working from home, unit home, make sure you've got a study space that is clear and comfortable and is not too, like, piled up and stressful, because I've done this before. I piled everything on my desk, left it there, trying to do work, and I get stressed because so much is around me, and every time I move my hand I'm knocking something on the floor. So make sure your desk is tidy. And another thing is, the final tip is to try and make sure your room stays clean, because it is a simple thing. Tidy room, tidy mind. I never thought this. My dad has told me my whole life, tidy your room, make sure your room's tidy, and I was like, oh, what's the point, it's just going to get messy again. But the more tidy you keep it, you're more likely to feel more at peace and more relaxed and more motivated to get on with stuff, because there is nothing around you clogging up your space. And try to less snacks, because snacks are very easy to do during uni, but honestly you will regret it at some point, because you'll start, like, snacking all day every day whilst you're also eating 3 meals a day. It's great if it's healthy snacks, but most times uni students will not eat healthy snacks unless they're really into the healthy snacks. Most of the time I don't anyway, and I've realised how much I snack so much, my energy drops, and I hate it. So definitely try and not snack too much and keep a strict diet a strict to 3 meals a day. Anyway, I feel like I've rambled on about a lot of stuff. So if you did enjoy this video and it was somewhat helpful, please give it a thumbs up, please comment down below, please subscribe, and I will see you again soon with another video. I love you guys.